everyone. Oh my goodness, introduced. So I'm Kirsten, and that's Jeanne with Six Figure Business Coaching. We're also the co-creators of the Marketing VA Advantage. So Jeanne, would you like to introduce our guest?
We are so excited and grateful for Mary Scott. So thank you. Mary is a confidence coach and has been an entrepreneur for more than 3 decades. She's got training as in nursing, psychotherapy, but her purpose is to help professional women to rise up to their full potential and reclaim their power. So we are absolutely thrilled. And Mary is going to share with us today some of the mistakes that she made when she first started in business. There are all kinds of mistakes that we all make. And if we can learn from someone else, we don't necessarily have to make them, which is awesome.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
We're excited about your topic because, you know, confidence really plays a role in how successful we are, right? And I think that there's no magic button to get confidence. There's no magic pill. You know, it's something I think everybody has to work on, whether they own up to it or not. Like, it's something we're always working on. And so we're excited to hear what you have to say about that and how people can focus on building genuine confidence in themselves.
Confidence is a funny thing, especially when we start a business. You know, we're in love with the idea of the business, aren't we? It's like, I've got a business, you know, I'm in the online space. And some of that is just a fantasy that I've always dreamt about, you know. Is it real? Well, sometimes it's not, has been my observation. And then there's you've got to put the pedal to the metal stage. Oh, and then all of a sudden it gets real and you're like, oh, what did I sign up for? And I think business is exactly the same.
Because every day, like, your business is throwing stuff at you that you don't know how to handle. It's all new stuff. So yeah, it can really eat away at your confidence.
Well, I think that you make a good point there, you know, because in a job you get paid to do, and then you get a business, you have to do all of that and some. There's assumption that I've got this, I know how to do it, and I need to be skilled in every aspect of my business. And so what that leads to then, I don't ask for help. I was one of those people that thought, I really, you know, I've got this, I know how to do it. And it's simply not true. And the day that we realize that we go slow to go fast, because that's the idea, isn't it, right? Go slow to go fast. And the way I taught myself, and my clients, otherwise it gets a bit convoluted because you bury yourself, you know those photos you see with people under the books. And I think that's true in business.
It's funny because I coach people all the time on this topic, which is, you don't have to know how to do things to take them. It's a matter of, like they always say, getting the right seats on the bus. If you can get the right person in that particular role, then you don't have to spend all of that time learning things that you're not going to enjoy learning, that are not your unique ability, that take you away from what you really started the business to do. And I do feel like that chips away at our confidence. And I do know that there are times that we do have to learn things. Jeanne and I talk a lot about, you know, when we first started outsourcing over a decade ago, if it can be done wrong, we did it wrong. And most likely we did it wrong more than once, right? So there are things that you have to do and learn from.
Well, I think the failing forward that you're talking about is the way to learn, isn't it? It's okay to take the skin off your knees every now and again. And I think that it's something to take notice of, because when you're in your flow, it's fun, right? You can have fun. Yeah, you know, whereas when you're doing something and grinding it out, you know, you've got that look about you. The other thing that stands out for me is having patience. Do you know? And I think that kindness to yourself comes in there with impatience, because I've seen people get really grumpy about it. Oh, I should know this. And, you know, that real grumpy kind of speaking fast and getting annoyed because there's things you didn't see when you're busy getting grumpy or impatient. And that's a really good lesson, I think, when you're new in business. Walk away, go and walk the dog, go to the beach, do something different, you know. And someone who knows what they're doing and in their flow and having fun is likely to resolve things so much quicker.
And I think that's one of the pieces that people miss. And I think that's just such a beautiful thing. It's a matter of figuring out how to build your business so that you can still do the parts that you love, And I think that plays a lot into confidence too.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think you've certainly nailed it. And I think that's where the forward planning comes in, doesn't it? Do I want to do this, or can I pass that over to my VA or something? We've got to control everything.
But do you think it comes from lack of self-worth or lack of confidence?
I think it's lack of confidence. And I remember when I first got my bookkeeper, I was like, have you got it all? Like, show me that spreadsheet again. I just want to check, you know. And like, that's just so crazy, because they do know what they're doing, and you have to be prepared to hand that over and trust, rather than keep everything. I think that's about being as well, rather than arrogant.
Yeah,
I think we can afford to be a little bit more gracious in some of the things that we do in our interactions.
We need all kinds of people with all kinds of talents.
Do you think that confidence plays a role in having an abundance mindset and also being able to be gracious? Because if you're not confident, then you're generally, you're in a fear mode, right? You're fearful. So how much of that do you think confidence plays in the role of those other skills and qualities that, you know, we really want to embody as entrepreneurs?
I think a tremendous amount. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And I've done a lot of work over the years with that little critical voice, you know, that when we become adults, we've got this voice that we actually believe is ours. And more often than not, it belongs to another. It's a carer, it's a parent, it's someone. And then we've heard it so many times in our head, we actually believe that you're too stupid to do this. Our train of thought, and we think that it belongs to us. And I think when we identify that we have the power to create positive in our mindset and what we speak, that's when we can start to increase our confidence. I think confident purpose, let's get on to purpose. You have to know why you're getting out of bed in the morning. You have to know what drives you, and purpose underpins everything for me, because it gives me direction. I know why I'm here. I know why I get out of bed when I put my, even if it was early, and then some days, I know why I'm here on the planet. And a lot of people have no clue, because they don't take time to be still and to be silent. You're never going to hear what's going on if you're busy chattering or you're on your phone, or let's face it, there's so many interruptions. We're all the time being stimulated.
That's a really good point. Like taking time to ask ourselves, like, what do I think about this? And then how do I feel about it?
Absolutely. Feeling brings us down into our body. Yeah. And we have to check in with, how do I feel? Where they're good questions. But the thinking, one of the other things that I think is powerful is, and we're covering a lot of topics, but journaling. So if you're a big thinker and you overthink things, I really encourage people, get it down, take it out of here, give it some form, and just write it down. And that kind of clears your head a little bit, and you can think a bit clearer. I also believe that it stops reactiveness, because we've got choices all the time, don't we? We can be reactive, we can be responsive. And when you've got your head full of clutter, you'll find that you're mostly reacting. And when you're reacting, you're on your back foot.
Yeah, I think
we call that a brain dump.
Yeah.
Where you just get it, and you're so right. Sometimes it's just so complicated up there, at least for me, that I just need to get it all down on paper. Then I can go, okay, now I can see what I need to tackle, what I don't need to tackle. You know, I can stop thinking about that. That's old habits. And then, you know, how to move forward on what needs to be done. Put
it here and let's move on and shake things up a little bit. Oh, you know, that's what I was saying about, if it's not working, take a break, which is very powerful.
Yeah. And we find that with a lot of entrepreneurs, because they're usually solopreneurs. And so when you get those issues, you really just go round and round in your head. I should do this. No, I should do that. No, I should do, you know, and you really need to talk to people, you know, get it out there and let's help.
If you're that worried, just pick one friend and ask them, how do you find me? You know, and if you're willing to be vulnerable enough to ask, you've clearly got to ask the right person, because you don't want to be slapped around. But if you need that sort of validation and you've got at least one good friend, just say, hey, give me some feedback. How do you find me?
Yeah.
You know, what do you think's really cool about me? What can I stretch on? What can I learn? And if you're willing to do that, my goodness, you can learn so much. The biggest judge of you is you.
Yeah. And when you get that, you can think, okay, and what I'm saying to myself, the actions and the things that I'm doing today, is it building my confidence or is it depleting it? And I love the concept that's been really circulated a lot more recently, which is showing up as your future self.
That's also about confidence, isn't it? That's also about self-worth. Am I worthy enough just to turn up and know that I make a difference? My goodness, a lot of people have no clue about the difference they make.
So it is interesting that sometimes until we step outside of like, what we're doing and get that feedback. The other thing was like having someone like who is committed to your business, like having someone who's there to help you move your business forward and who are willing to share creative ideas or willing to talk things out with you.
Isn't that interesting? Because when you think about the left and right brain, the left into systems and strategies and all of that, and the right brain about, am I good enough? Can I do this? And then when you see other people that you're employing or you're in a team with doing it, and then you're both moving in the same direction, I think that is so powerful, isn't it? It's like, wow, we've got this. We've actually got this.
Well, what happened is you never got all that stuff out of the way. So you never got to do the creative, fun, fulfilling things that you wanted to do. Or I thought, there's got to be, it must be because I'm disorganized. I can't get all this stuff done. There must be some kind of organizational program or theory or something that I can follow that's going to help me get everything done.
You have to respect it, because in turn, then you respect yourself and you have gratitude for yourself. But I think there's another mistake I made. When I first started my own business, 7 days a week, when I had my psychotherapy practice, which was a long time ago, I used to do 5 days one-on-one clients, and then I would travel to rural areas and I would do group work. And then I'd come home Sunday night or Monday, and then we'd go again, because I thought that's how you become successful. And I just burnt myself out. And in those days, it was all face-to-face and all that kind of thing. And it was a wonderful learning experience. Things are so different from that place now in terms of, we just don't have the things on tap, do we? We didn't have them back then, and now they're there, but unless you know where to, which is the whole delegating or explore, who can help me with this? Where can I find support to do this and this? And my gosh, it's like a breath of fresh air. I think about the hours that I'm doing now to what I did in the beginning. It's night and day.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the other line is, I'll wait till I'm successful before I do that. I'll wait till I've got the runs on the board, and then what I'll do is I'll do this. And I think that business is no different. We're still waiting to be successful so that we can then do this and that never happens. Yes.
If we can catch someone early on, and there's a lot more startups now that are hiring right off the bat, which I'm so excited about, like to be able to work with people, who are hiring their virtual assistants before they even have their branding done. Like they're like, okay, I know I need the support. That's not my unique ability. And I want someone to start now with me so that, we can move forward. I think that's such a smart move, because then you feel more like a real business owner because you have someone on payroll, and we get to make that decision and we get to help other people make that decision. You can just see the light bulb go off. You can see how they realize that, wow, like I'm brand new and I'm already getting all this marketing. Like I'm getting stuff done that businesses that have been around for 2, 3, 5 years are not even doing yet.
I was just thinking about that. What a difference. And we do have, I'll take ownership. I have wasted a lot of time in the past on exactly those kind of things. But to start each week knowing that that's all happening in the background, you're already making your mark.
What's been so amazing is to see people who are starting a business, maybe it's a second career or a third career, but it's awesome because they're at a point in their life where they have resources to invest in their business. They have resources to invest in themselves. And they know that they want to move quickly, and they know they can't do it by themselves.
I don't know about you ladies, but when I was growing up, the age I am now, I would have thought was pretty old to be doing a business.
Right. Yes.
But, I think about people now. I've got a saying, there's a lot of people tiptoeing through life, hoping to make it safely to death.
Yes.
And some of those people are our age.
Right.
Where I live, there's a few people tiptoeing around, and I think there's so much potentiality with the skill that you can bring. And if you're someone listening to this recording, for goodness sake, never be afraid of that. There's always something, and you're bringing such a wealth of knowledge, just like a library of information that someone is wanting to hear and waiting for you to share it.
Yes. And I think what's cool too at that age is like a lot of people that we're working with now, they really don't care as much what other people think, right? They want to do a good job and they want to show up, but they're more confident in themselves because, like you said, like we're all moving closer to rise up, go do what you want to do and let them do themselves. Like, whatever you want to do or think, that's fine, but this is what I'm going to do. And I also love the fact that our brains, those connections stay, which is going to help us prevent Alzheimer's. And you said at the beginning, having fun in your business. And that's so cool because that's a life worth living. Right? Like the older we get, the more we want to have fun.
Be yourself, be authentic, because people have fun along the road, I just think there's so many things. People say, where are you today? I say, I'm in my office. My windows open and the birds are there getting the honey, the nectar from the flowers. And sometimes that makes me giggle when my clients say, what's that? Where are you? You sound like you're in the bush. And I think that's just the simple things. I think we want things to be difficult, and you don't need things to be difficult. If you're in your flow and it's easy, you have more fun. Wow. There's so much fun to be had and so much learning to be had.
Yeah, Mary, we're so happy you've been here with us today. We really, really appreciate it. And do you want to give anyone your Facebook?
It's just Mary Scott on Facebook.
We're so thankful you were here with us, taking the time to watch this. And we really appreciate you being here.
This has been so much fun.
Absolutely. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.